Last week, we considered James' counsel that people of faith should be cautious and caring in how they speak to and about other people. He challenged his readers who used their words in one moment to bless God and in the next moment to curse their neighbors. And he said to them, "Brothers and sisters, this should not be so." In the remainder of the chapter, James explains why he thinks we sometimes tend to be so critical of others, even demeaning or seeking to publicly embarrass them. Often, he claims, our disagreements are not so much the result of a difference of opinions as they are the result of jealousy. Listen to his words. "But if you have jealousy and selfish ambition in your hearts, do not be false to the truth." In other words, don't claim that you're taking aim at someone else because they've offended your sense of ethics or values. "For where jealousy and selfish ambition exist," says James, "there will be disorder and every vile practice." A woman I knew some years ago worked in a large corporate office. She was a high-level financial administrator. She was also as kind, gentle, and non-offensive as a human can be. Furthermore, she was a numbers person, so she didn't work in any capacity that would necessarily create conflict with other employees. And yet, there was a man in the office who was consistently rude and unkind to her and who spread all sorts of malicious rumors about her. He questioned her abilities. He questioned her professional ethics. He even hinted at issues that would have been morally compromising. To say that she was concerned would have been an understatement of vast proportion. She was filled with anxiety, frightened, confused, hurt, embarrassed, threatened. For almost 2 years, it went on like that, his being caustic and critical, and her feeling vulnerable and wondering why a man she hardly knew hated her so much. She lost sleep, she lost weight, she prayed, she wept. And finally, she learned the source of his unending attack on her abilities and her essence as a person. The woman's predecessor, a man who had served in her position for over 20 years before retiring, bumped into her at a social gathering one evening. He asked how things were going in the office, and she answered honestly. She told him of the harassment and abuse that she suffered almost daily. The man answered, "Oh, he's just angry at being passed up for your job. The former CEO promised him that when I retired, he would move him into my office. But the new CEO wanted a person with greater training and skills. So he hired you." Down deep inside, you see, he's not mad at you. He's mad at himself for not being qualified to hold your job. "For where jealousy and selfish ambition exist," says James, "there will be disorder and every vile practice." Sometimes, says the second chapter of this New Testament book, the motives behind our anger toward or criticism of someone else are similar to that man in the corporate office. It's about jealousy and selfish ambition, to quote James. We think we can build ourselves up by trying to bring someone else down. And in the end, people are smart enough to see through that and always lose more respect for the critic than for the one being criticized. Anyway, as James reminds us, as followers of Christ, we are expected to live lives that are pure, peaceable, gentle, open to reason, and full of mercy. Okay, think about 2 questions. First, how is jealousy often expressed in a human relationship? Second, how is Christ often revealed in a human relationship? I'll see you next week as we turn to chapter 4 of the book of James.